Lance Smith here with Dean Neeley, middle linebacker for Mater Dei, who just beat Mission Viejo 49-24. Sounds like Bosco won today, so you're going to get your expected rematch of them in the finals.
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row. So speaking of which, this is year 3 that you guys have met Mission Viejo in the playoffs. Coming into match 3 today, this is, they're as good as ever this year. Did it affect this game at all, or your guys' mentality going into it, knowing that you guys have seen them so many times in the playoffs?
I don't think it really affected our mentality because we take every week, 1 week at a time. It might have affected theirs because, they kind of crapped the bed in the beginning. But for us, it's all the same. Every game is another game.
So you're a middle linebacker. Obviously they say linebackers are the most responsible for stopping the run. When you guys are going against a great running team like Mission Viejo, who does a lot of their work on the ground, 2 great running backs and a dual threat QB, does that affect what your job is as a linebacker coming into the game, or is it kind of the same whether they pass the ball every time, throw the ball every time? Where's that at?
The only thing that really changes is our audibles, like what our D coordinator wants to game plan for that week. But for us, like how we play, it doesn't really change at all. Maybe sometimes we'll be able to bite on the run a little bit harder, but I don't really like to do that because then they'll pop a pass off right when you think they're just going to run it. But for every game is the same for us. That's the main key point that we all like to keep, and Coach Rollo and Coach EJ like to keep for us.
Okay, got it. So next week you guys are facing Bosco. I remember you told me right after the St. Francis game, no one else in the country can prepare you for Bosco. Now you guys have seen Bosco once, beat them by 2 touchdowns, beaten a slew of the other best teams in the country. How much more prepared for them now in the finals do you feel than when we talked after you guys had just beaten St. Francis and had not started league yet?
Yes, sir. The St. Francis game definitely, like I said back then, it didn't prepare us, but every game prepares us. And going through the entire Trinity League, that's a whole different level. And now we're going through the playoffs, and the playoffs are a whole nother step up. So every week we've had to step our game up, and I think we have. We've played better every game because we played against better teams every game. Like last week we let up a little too much on defense, and this week we're going against a good running offense. And for the first defense, they only scored 3 points on us. So I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of my brothers. I give it all to Coach EJ. They know exactly what to do. We had no surprises today.
So even if you win, you only have 2 games left of your high school career. How are you feeling about that, and how do you want to remember your last couple games?
My memories at Mater Dei have been nothing short of amazing. Coach Rollo, I remember the first time we have our equipment manager, Coach Bose. I remember the first time coming in 8th grade that he ripped me apart, and I remember it vividly. It was because I didn't look him in the eye when I shook his hand, and he tore me apart for 30 minutes straight. And just little things like that, in the locker room, we sometimes me and all the seniors step back and we look at us. We're like, how are we the number 1 team in the nation? We look at each other in the locker room. We're a bunch of goofballs. We just love the game. We love to come out and hit. So honestly, I've loved every second of my time at Mater Dei, and I'm gonna miss it more than anything.